What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to NSP Niner Talk. I feel a lot better, and I hope you guys do too. I was worried going into the Rams game, and we came out with not just a dub, okay? Because we're not just victorious that day, but we are now number one in our division. And that's amazing, which I talked about last week. And now my confidence in the Niners are just through the roof. And I hope you guys are too. I'm excited. We got a great week coming up. We're going against Carolina. I mean, what better follow up do you want? You're going against this guy called Baker Mayfield, who has not been producing what he was expected to produce. And just to let you all know, I'm not the biggest Baker fan out there, and he hasn't been playing very well. The whole team hasn't been playing well, honestly. Um, I'm excited. I don't know how else I should explain it. I'm excited. I want to get into a few things with you guys because we did suffer a few injuries on the Monday Night Football game. Uh, just like every win, it comes at a cost, and we are hurting even more on the offensive line. We're switching up a lot of offensive linemen. We even had Burford coming in and out because it seemed like Aaron Donald was taking advantage of the rookie, and he seemed to be getting at us early in the game, but we put an end to that real quick. And I also want to address that we didn't allow the Rams to score a touchdown. That's awesome. We have the best defense in the league. A lot of people question it. They're like, oh, the Eagles are really good defense. No, no, no. I think the Niners have the best in the league. Hufunga with that pick six at the end, that was just a cherry on top. It was awesome. A very fun game to watch. But going back to our lineman, we did suffer another injury. Colton McKivitz, he suffered an MCL sprain. More bad news. He's going to be out for 4 to 8 weeks, which is bad because we're already down Trent Williams. Now we're down Colton McKivitz. I believe we're down to one more left tackle. We have more. I believe I have it right here. Yeah, Jalen Moore. We have him going in as left tackle. Honestly, I wasn't too impressed when he came in. The game against the Broncos when Trent Williams got injured. He didn't look that great. I'm kind of hoping that they maybe keep Brendel in center and move Brunskill as a left tackle, just because of his veteran experience. And I do feel like he will be able to match up pretty well against their most dynamic player on defense, which is Brian Burns. That's the guy we got to look out for. That is, I don't want to say the best player on their team, but the most dynamic player on their team this season so far. I still believe the best player on the team is CMC as long as he can stay healthy. But Brian Burns, he is, he's far away from Nick Bosa, but for the season, he's registered 3 sacks and 10 QP pressures. And if we're not careful, he can take advantage of that. And this is where I feel like George Kittle would take a big role in this game, kind of like what he did last game. A lot of people are coming up to me, hey, should I start George Kittle? Should I trade George Kittle for fantasy football? And I say, hey, man, I say this all the time. George Kittle is not going to be a awesome point machine. He's going to have great games, but the way the Niners utilize him, he's a blocking tight end. He does all the dirty work for the 49ers. And with how bad our offensive line is beat up, he's going to be utilized a lot in the blocking schemes because we are a run heavy team. It hasn't really looked like it. We haven't found our rhythm just yet. I do believe this can be the game that we do run the ball like up their throats because they're ranked 25th in rush defense, and that is not good. They protect the air pretty well. I believe they're ranked 14th, but 25th for rush defense. We have to take advantage of that, even with a banged up offensive line. Jeff Wilson Jr. He's looking good. I felt like he found his stride. Literally, that 22-yard touchdown was amazing. It was awesome. He found that gap. He made it open, and you know what? It wouldn't have been possible, in my opinion, without George Kittle. George Kittle plays a huge factor on there. You have people line up against him, and then he's blocking more than what he's supposed to, or he does just enough in certain plays. It is great. I think that is a key factor here. Him and Kyle Juszczyk are going to have their hands full when it comes to blocking schemes because we need to establish the run early in that game. Now, is this an easy win for us? It should be. I mean, we should be undefeated right now. I thought we were going to go 3-0, but um, it is what it is. 2-2 is not bad. Best in the division ain't bad. I like it. I'm happy. going forward, we got to capitalize here. We got the Carolina Panthers. This is a game that we should win. I believe we were favored by like 5.5 to 6 points. We were favored in that Rams game as well, which I thought was pretty odd. But you know what? Someone knows what they're doing. Someone has a little more faith than I do. But always faithful, always faithful. But Colton McKivitz wasn't the only person who got injured. We had Javon Killall, who actually missed out on Monday's game. He went out there pregame. He kind of stretched out, and it just wasn't for him. I'd rather have him 100% healthy than coming back. Now, he is questionable to play for this upcoming game. I'm a little worried there. It would be nice to have him, but I would say we are reinforced, which we have a great defensive front, the best in the league. But Eric Armstead, he re-aggravated his foot and ankle injury during the Rams game, which that is a little bit of a concern for me. He was not practicing Wednesday, so again, I'd rather have him 100% because we do have dynamic players on defense and capitalizing with Nick Bosa, who probably will have an amazing game. He has 6 sacks and 16 pressures, which is most amongst the league in both sacks and pressures. Easily defensive of the year candidate. I also want to say the Niners probably have 2 defensive player of the year candidates, which is Hufanga. Hufanga's been playing amazing. But I really want to focus on the defensive front because Nick Bosa is going to be playing up against the rookie left tackle, Ikem Ikwanu. Yeah, we talked a lot about him during the preseason. He, hasn't been that great, but supposedly he quote unquote tightened up his pass protection. I don't think he'll be able to keep it tight when Nick Bosa's getting in there. That sounds bad, but uh, Nick Bosa should have another field day. I do feel like he could rack up another 2 sacks and at least another 4 pressures on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, his decision making, it looks bad. In my full belief, I do believe that Sam Darnold would have had some reps if it wasn't for his ankle injury. But I mean, they're both not the greatest. Gotta look forward. Niners are gonna have a hell of a game. It should be a lot of fun. Another injury that I do want to make a point to talk about is Juwan Jennings. Juwan Jennings, he suffered an ankle sprain on Monday. I don't like that at all because I do feel like he is our third down savior. He does great on third downs. He has that connection with Jimmy G. He was limited in practice on Wednesday, but if he doesn't make it, then maybe we'll see the rookie Danny Gray. I would love to see Danny Gray play, but I don't think we'll be able to use him what he's supposed to be used for. That's just not Jimmy G's thing. He's a speedster. He's a deep threat guy, kind of like Brandon Ayuk, but we haven't seen much of Ayuk, especially in the second half, because that's just not Jimmy G's thing. He's that slant route guy, short pass. You've seen him try to throw that deep ball to Ross Tuwali. I think it was Ross Tuwali, where he was looking for the inside and the ball was on the outside, and that would have been a TD right there. That ate me up, especially since it was early in the game. But a lot to look forward to in this game, you guys. I do think we can come out with a dub, especially with the way our defense is playing. Our offense just has to do just enough for us to get us that game. It's going to be the battle of the battle of the quarterbacks, man. Jimmy G, I believe, is by far better than Baker Mayfield. I've been saying this all offseason while these trade talks were happening. Right now, he has a QBR of 93. 93.2, and Baker has a QBR of a horrible 75. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And plus, we need to even out the score. Right now, the Panthers record against the Niners is 13-9. They're beating us out in the long run. So hopefully we could go home and help adjust that and getting a dub against the Carolina Panthers. Like I said, not a fan of the Panthers, not a fan of Baker Mayfield. I do feel like we will win this game. I think it's gonna be a great game for us. I think we're gonna win 27-13. Yeah, I'm gonna say 27-13. The Niners have only allowed the Niners have allowed the fewest amount of points in the NFL, which is 11.5, 11 and a half points. So by saying that they're going to get 13 points, that's a compliment. Take it how you want it, but that's a compliment in my opinion. I got the game 27-13. Hopefully we could all sit back, have some meat in the smoker and just enjoy the game. But I'm excited. You guys should be excited too. First in the division. It's a long season ahead of us. Don't start George Kittle for fantasy wise. You should start Jeff Wilson Jr. 100%. But until next time, you guys keep on grinding.